What's up, guys? Chris Chin here from TopSpeed, and I am here with Andrei Ravinovich, who is with Hyundai, who's going to tell us a little bit about the IONIQ 9, and which is Hyundai's newest EV, and it's their latest vehicle to come out here at the LA Auto Show. And Andrei's going to just tell us a little bit more about the vehicle than kind of hopefully what we already know, right, Andrei?
Yeah, for sure. Excited to talk about it. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's get to it.
All right, so good morning. So we're here showcasing at LA Auto Show today our new IONIQ 9 SUV. So this is a family 3-row SUV. It's our largest eGMP platform car. So it's got the longest wheelbase of any Hyundai product we've had so far. It's actually 9 inches longer of a wheelbase than Palisade. So quite a lot of interior cabin space. Obviously, the focus being families. It's all about space. It's all about usability. There's some really great technology inside the car. But I guess starting a little bit with the outside of the car. So, IONIQ is all about a couple main key things, right? So it's all about this idea of kind of, dynamic design, of bold design, interesting design. So obviously you have some, the same parametric pixel design language that you see on the IONIQ 5, IONIQ 6. You have some really, really awesome aesthetic to the overall side of the car. This car is all about being as smooth, as flush as possible, maximize range. There's a lot of really small little details that the designers focused on, like, for example, getting rid of the shark fin antenna and spreading some of the functionality to other parts of the car, like the windshield or the rear glass. Again, it's all about maximizing the aero efficiency of the car, maximizing range, focusing on delivering what we're hoping to be 300 miles on every single trim of the car.
Awesome, and I could tell from the taper front end here in the hood and just the way the vehicle is shaped, it's very aerodynamically influenced.
Yeah.
Because obviously, that sort of shape helps it, glide through the air a lot faster, and just a lot smoother.
Smoother, and with EVs, all about obviously maximizing range. Obviously getting, we have a really big battery. It's a 110.3 kilowatt hour battery, but obviously anything we can do to obviously extract the most out of that battery and maximize the range that we can with the car. So for example, if you look at the side, the silhouette of the car, it's a really, really fast shape, right? Obviously, if you look at the angle, the rake of the front windshield is really, really steep, more so than I think more traditional SUVs. All about, again, maximizing the aero efficiency of the car. The peak of the roof line is kind of back here around where the second row is. So even though the car is really aerodynamically focused from a design perspective, really great interior cabin space. So really great headroom, legroom for second row and third row, more than actually most of our key competitors in the space, and some outside of the space even. Cars that you would think could have more headroom than this based on their kind of more boxy designs. Actually, this has better headroom on the inside than some of those models do. And if we continue down to the rear of the car, like I said, it's all about that aero efficiency. So if you look at the way the car kind of slims down towards the rear of the car, it's almost like what designers call like a bow tail design. So it's all about kind of focusing, minimizing turbulence in the rear, focusing that aero efficiency in the rear of the car. You have a really kind of the way the curves kind of come down to the back of the car, again, maximizing aero efficiency, but
it's got the tapered shape.
Yeah. Tapered shape.
Yep.
Really strong haunches on the side, so give that really good, strong presence to the side of the car. Obviously, that SUV kind of stature to it. Really nice defining character lines. One really interesting one, which I love, and if you talk to Simon Losby from our head of our design, is this kind of what he calls the hanbok line. So hanbok is a Korean traditional dress in Korea that has a really kind of single kind of curvature and color shape to the front center of the car. And that's what this kind of cut line is meant to represent, right? So it kind of ties the front and rear of the car really well in one nice kind of clean, simple character line on the side. All right, so now we're inside the IONIQ 9, and like I said, this is a family SUV, but that doesn't mean you want a little bit of driver focus, right? So obviously you can see here a nice kind of panoramic curved display, dual 12.3-inch screens, really capable multimedia system with a lot of customization, a lot of capability in the car. Some really nice touches to the car. Obviously, technology is great, but it's got to be really usable. So obviously, we kept hard buttons where they're important. You still have, obviously your audio buttons, your climate buttons are still primarily hard buttons where it's important for customers. Again, being a family car, all about usability, right? Lots of storage everywhere. Really great functionality. Actually, the center console actually slides front to rear. So depending if you're on the front row or the second row, you kind of move it closer to either the row, or, for example, if you want more space here in the front to maybe store like a bag or something that you're carrying. And it's also double hinge. So if I show you here, you can actually open that center console from the rear. So again, the idea, like I said, being a family SUV, access, usability, functionality in all three rows of the car.
I gotta admire one of the things about Hyundai. I have to say, especially when you point out little details like this, is just again, the attention to detail and the level of engineering that goes into, and the level of thoughtfulness that goes into engineering Hyundai vehicles. And I think that's, at least me personally, one of the biggest highlights to Hyundai vehicles as of late is just that level of detail and that level of thoughtfulness that you really can't find in other vehicles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So.
I think there's some amazing attention to even the smallest things. Like, for example, if you look at the entire design language of the interior, right, it's this idea of the kind of the natural lounge, right? So it's a nice kind of calming, kind of nice relaxing place to be. And you kind of want your family SUV when you're on a long trip with lots of people in the car to be a space that you can kind of, relax a bit, right? So even if you look at all the attention, all the details in the car are kind of nice rounded ellipse type shapes, kind of nice, kind of clean aesthetic to the interior of the car. But again, like you said, all the small little details. So even our drive mode and terrain mode button, same elliptical shape, that same parametric pixel language that I talked about in the front of the car, carried all the way to even the smallest details, like some of the hard buttons in the car.
And that black dot on the front, that's a biometric reader?
Fingerprint, fingerprint. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. So you can use that obviously to things like valet mode and to load your driver profile and potentially some other things down the line as well.
Because that's car technology of the 21st century, right?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Cool.
Right, so this is our calligraphy trim with two second row captain's chairs. You can see they're power captain's chairs in the second row. And actually for the first time on any Hyundai product, we'll have a relaxation function on both front and second row. So basically you'll be able to recline the seat all the way back, kick up the front leg rest. So for example, if you're at a kids event, like waiting for your kids practice to end, or if you're at charging, all four rows can recline back and relax inside the car. So there's quite a lot of capability about making the cabin comfortable, right? So for example, there's things like the ability to shut off the front air conditioner, right, and power only the rear AC. So again, if you're relaxing in the back, or for example, if you're even camping or sleeping in the car, you can send all that AC power to the back of the car instead of the front.
All right, Andre. Well, thank you very much for giving us a bit of a walk around of the IONIQ 9. I almost keep calling it the IONIQ 5 because that's where we last.
That's where we last.
interacted.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell us a little bit about just like some of your personal favorite things and features about the IONIQ.
Yeah, I think to me probably the most interesting, or to me, feature I'm really excited about is the bi-directional charging capability, right? So we've had V2L in our past products, right? You can charge small appliances and things from the back of the car, but this will have full bi-directional charging capability. So essentially you can use this car as kind of like a mobile battery essentially in your home, right? So in the case of a power outage, for example, if you have a two-way charger in your house, you can actually use the drive battery from the car to power the full house. Or the other way around. For example, if you have solar and you want to kind of collect some of the energy during the daytime and then not charge your car during peak hours, store that energy back in the car, and theoretically down the line, maybe even sell it back to the grid. Right? So you can essentially use this car as kind of like a mobile power station in a way.
What were some of the biggest challenges that you and your team faced when trying to come up with the IONIQ 9 and trying to develop it and whatnot? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I think with a car like this, obviously being an EV, right, you still want to maximize range, right? So you're kind of playing that trade-off between aerodynamic efficiency but still maintaining good interior space. And I think we found a really nice balance, right? Obviously, we could push the car a little bit more. Like if you talk, for example, with designers, they would say, hey, this tail could be 12 feet longer, right? That obviously get the car up to be a lot more efficient. That wouldn't work for an SUV, right? So I think it's a nice balance of size and obviously both exterior and interior, right? So maximizing interior space, long wheelbase. Overall length of the car is not super long, but again, having that good interior space, right? So kind of good combination between the two.
Awesome. And what would you want to be the biggest takeaway for any prospective, customers on the IONIQ 9? What would you want their biggest takeaway to be with the IONIQ 9?
Yeah, I think this car kind of delivers on everything a customer would be looking for as a family car, right? So like I said before, it's a great usability, great technology, great interior space, really great range. So obviously some of the kind of challenges with EVs that some people face, like range anxiety, not a problem with this car. Fast charging capability, right? Obviously our platform, 800 volt charging, fast charging capability, 24 minutes, right, in a level 3 charger. So again, we kind of take away some of the potential barriers for families to get into EVs and deliver a car that's really capable in all different areas that customer might be looking for.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, I can't wait to drive it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in on this little snippet with TopSpeed and Andre Ravinovich of Hyundai, telling us a little bit about the IONIQ 9 that just debuted here at the Los Angeles Auto Show. So be sure to stay tuned for our further coverage and hopefully for some coverage on when we get to drive it.
Yeah, pretty soon, hopefully.
All right. Thank you, Andre.
Definitely.
Until next time.